Hey everyone, it's Adam here from the Franchise Tag, and I have got my top five fantasy quarterbacks for week 10 in these important matchups where you need to be getting the win if you want to get into the playoffs this year. Now, as we've always said, we don't always go for the obvious ones. Josh Allen's got a great matchup this week, but we won't be going for ones like that. So, my number one guy for week 10, we're going to go for Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. Just coming off of a bye, he's going away to the LA Chargers, who are currently 31st against the quarterback. And not only that, Goff is the number 12 quarterback on the season. He has looked decent, and we all know that he was able to perform in that stadium in LA for the Rams. And so I think that being there, that's the weather's not going to be an issue for him, and he's going to have a really good game coming off the bye. My number two guy, Sam Howell. Howell has been throwing the ball around all over the place. It's been ridiculous this season. There have been plenty of interceptions, but there's also touchdowns. And most importantly, he can also use his legs in order to get into the end zone himself. He's going up against the Seattle Seahawks team that has been struggling of late. They've got a pretty impressive record, but they really got hit badly against the Ravens last week. They're currently number 16 against the quarterback. But Howe is the number six quarterback on the season, and it looks like that he's probably going to have another decent game, as that you are able to score on the Seattle defense, as we saw the Ravens do as well last week. My number three guy is CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. Stroud is a favorite at the Franchise Tag. We were saying how good he was before he came out of the draft, and he is really doing incredibly well in the NFL this season. He's going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 20th against the quarterback. But Stroud is currently number 8 on the season so far. And not only that, you saw how well he did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, getting 5 touchdowns. And he's definitely a guy that if you can get in your lineup, you want him in there for the rest of this season. My number four guy is kind of someone that you could probably trade for quite cheap, I think. Derek Carr of the New Orleans Saints. I think that Carr has had his kind of normal, typical season, to be honest. He normally ends up in the teens when it comes to being a quarterback when he was with the Raiders, and he's doing the same with the Saints this year. Currently number 19 on the season. He's had a few picks, but he's also had plenty of touchdowns, and he's going up against a Minnesota Vikings defense that has struggled all season. They're currently 21st against the quarterback. I think you'll find that Carr will have a pretty decent game here. And then my last guy for you to pick up, if he plays, Kyler Murray. If you can get Kyler Murray, he should have a decent game. The only reason that I'm putting him in my top five straight away is because of the matchup. Going against the Atlanta Falcons. They're currently 27th against the QB. And, I know that Murray hasn't played all season, but we know how well Murray can play and how important that having a rushing QB can be for your fantasy team. Murray can get plenty of runs in, and he will get plenty of yards, whether he's fully fit or not, to be honest. So I think that he'll be okay, I think, for this first week, and we'll have to see how he goes. But if he does play, I think that he'll be a good choice for you to get in your lineup. So they're my five guys for week 10. We've got loads more fancy stuff coming out for you this week and for the rest of the season. So keep it with the Franchise Tag.